window through. Wow.
Taking some time out and decided to go for a walk around some of Nuku Hiva, beautiful island. Came across these animal skins stretched out to dry in the sun. Seen it in the movies, but never for real. That was fascinating. Hot day though. Luckily there was a source of cool water nearby. And then it was a trip over to Yacht Services to hire a generator. You may remember my engine decided it wasn't going to work on the day I was going to leave the island. So a lot of fixing to do, but I was running short of electric power, so had to rent a generator. It fit in the dinghy. My next door neighbours gave me a hand, which is great. Thanks guys, I couldn't have managed without you. Being an English boat, Shaddy runs on 220 volts, hence having to hire in a special generator. My old one gave up the ghost a few months ago. At least with the generator working, I knew that there was power coming on board at last. So it was time to work on the engine. First thing to do was clean the filters. I hadn't got any replacement ones because I hadn't envisaged having to change them so early. Getting them back in is always a pain, and I was hoping once again that this would be the last time I had to play with this engine. It's caused me nothing but trouble the last few months. It's another beautiful morning here in Nuku Hiva as the sun comes over the volcano. But hopefully it's the day I get to leave. Been here too long again, but we've, as you know, have had problems. Got the engine running, that's the main thing. A friend of mine on a boat over there, a guy called Christian, and another friend whose name I can't remember, an American guy I met on a boat called Venture, I think it is, over there, came along, gave me lots of advice. Christian particularly was a brick. He kept coming over and helping, and eventually we got the machine, the blooming big blue machine down there to work, and it fired up by 2 weeks of trying to get the damn engine going. So I didn't film it because you've seen enough of that engine stuff before, and it was just a ball ache, believe me. But time to go. But before I go, there's always things to be done. Poor old hydrovane, the vane on hydrovane, I wore it out. It's taken me nearly halfway around the world, and it was slightly warm when I bought the boat nearly 4 years ago. So those nice people at Hydrovane sent me a new hydrovane cover. I've got to say they do sponsor me in a little way. They've sent me bits and pieces before, but even if they went, I would still. I mean, it is a brilliant system, absolutely fantastic, first class. And I'm going to put the brand new hydrovane cover on, and I hope it makes Shaddy look a bit more spick and spanners, because she's looking a bit worn out, poor thing. But we'll do that now. Anchor up. It's a nice place. I wish I had more time to enjoy it rather than just working all the time. Maybe one day I'll come back. As the guys I helped in a few, 2 months ago I think it was, they're there to say goodbye. Cheers! Yeah, I'll see you out there. Just beginning to get a feel of this sort of ocean bigness now, if you see what I mean. Sea's beginning to move about a bit. Spray's coming up. Feeling I haven't had for a while. It's a nice feeling, but at the same time, I'm always a little nervous, especially when I've had so much trouble with the engine, to be this close to rocks, so I'm on both sides of me. The entrance is actually much wider than it looks. I've got the plan in my head always what to do if something goes wrong, and that what to do would be to hoist the mainsail, or just at least turn the boat round and sail back in. I can sail back down into the bay and drop the anchor if I had to. But I'll be happier when I'm clear, which should be in a few minutes. Still got a bit of sun. That was the plan, to leave before the sun went down. Yes, I like to get settled. Know that everything is working and everything's good. I'm just coming up a little, yeah, okay, so I'm talking and watching rocks at the same time. Beginning to blow a little bit, but it's okay because we're going to go downwind as soon as we get round here. We're going down there. We're going to clear the bottom of the island, but the wind is blowing directly on the island. So I want to get some sea room before I start tracking down there. Once we do, we'll have the wind and the weather with us.
Sunrise on the first morning back at sea.
Looking around the cockpit, there's still lots of work to be done on the boat. New addition, this is my new whip aerial. You can see the cable sticking out there. It's not connected or anything yet. I made a sort of homemade bracket for it up there. It can't be in metal because it'll interfere with it, so I've made myself a little wooden thing there to hold it. I don't want to lean out really to film it because the boat's rolling all over. But you can see she goes right up there. And it is a whip aerial and it's busy whipping away. I got all the parts for a SSB, that's a long range radio, got the aerial up. I got the rest of the kit down below. I've got to run wires down through the boat. So I've got all the stuff, but it's not all working yet. I'm going to get that going as soon as I make the next stop. That's the next big job. Hold on to your hats, boys, it's going to be windy. Steaming along quite nicely today, and this squall came up on us. Coming again. I'm just going to do a piece to the camera, and we've got a squall over there behind us and another one coming over the top of us now. Wind's picking up one after another. Just start to see a little bit of light through the cloud there. Think it's coming to an end, I hope. Slow down a bit. We were going like a hairy bear a few minutes ago. Trying to keep that flag pointing downwind. Going down the wind. It's the best place to be. the end of it. Yeah! Yeah, baby! It's a couple of hours since I made the last little video clip. It's getting towards night, and the weather just suddenly turned really nasty, and I got like, oh my god, and then we got hit by this massive wave. Massive. The weather was actually coming from behind the boat, and then we got hit by a rogue wave that came from the forward quarter on the port side. It came through a vent on the deck, and then came down onto the couch. But that was the least of my worries. Most of it came through the bimini cover. It actually took out one of the windows in the bimini, completely blew it out, went careering across into the cockpit, filled up the cockpit pretty much, and the rest of it went down the companionway, causing quite a bit of damage to some electronics down below. It soaked everything, the floor, and went through into the bilges. I was lucky that it didn't cause more damage than it did do, but even so, that was quite enough damage for one night. And I'm thinking, where the heck am I going to get my bimini repaired between here and civilization? The window through. Right, sorted. Gonna check that just in bloody case. I think this is number 5 or 6, I lost track. You can see over there the difference, and that's what's behind us now. What I've done is I've loosened off the uphole, I pulled tight down here. That gives us a really tight sail, so it can't move in the wind. That's what you do, you don't want anything flapping. Foresail I managed to roll in and it's nice and small. I can tell where the wind's blowing by my Marquesan flag up there. I gotta keep the boat going downwind. Yeah, it's missed us. You can see it down there. That's upwind, that's what's coming towards us. We just caught the very edge of that, so panic over. We've got another one in front of us, which should be gone by the time we get over there. and then out of the sea, which is now quite calm, except for the wind that's just come. Springs up the flat but very welcome sight of Fakarava. There's dive boats over there. I haven't seen that for a while. That means keep clear. 12 minutes late. I planned to come through a few hours after high water, which it is now. So the water's rushing out of here at a hell of a lick. I've got the mainsail up to try and give me a bit of a lift in because the wind is right for that. And now we're getting into all of the current that's coming out. All the water in this massive lagoon, 30-mile long lagoon, is coming out. Wow, we're in, it's like the water's boiling around me at the moment. That's current against tide. It's not bad, it just looks like it's shallow. We're going through the entrance now. On the smaller entrances, you have to get the timing exactly right. We're only just we're slowed down to 2.7 now. The water, I don't know if you can see it, it's boiling behind me. We have to go up, and then we find a port hand marker and then turn along. Once we do that, we should be out of this. Without modern charts, I mean, I've got real-time updates here, down here. I've got it right in front of me. And I'm hoping that this is all accurate. That all the waypoints and all the positionings on here are accurate. There's because we can't. There's no room for error here. This is the hardest part at the moment, and this is where the engine starts to get hot. I had to film this way. This is great. I'm doing this one-handed with the camera up there like that. This is just woohoo!